on a different situation where we were in a sales role, and if I made more sales than you, and we were putting in the same hours, I was just better at the job. Could be exactly the opposite way. You might be better at the job. Do you think that we should be rewarded based on our performance in a context like that?
I think you need to consider equity as well.
I just need a yes or no for that one.
Bro, money does not give a fuck about equity, like at all. Like literally, if you females just watch female sports, there would be no fucking problem with this. Nobody watches it. Why the fuck do they need more money whenever they aren't even entertaining?
What do you think?
I just skipped conversation 2 because there was a helicopter in the background for like the first 30 seconds, and I didn't think y'all would want to hear that because I didn't want to fucking hear that.
I think, fair or unfair? What do you think? It's fair or unfair?
I think.
Bro, what the fuck does he got going on?
Dollar. Now why?
Because they're not paid a lot, but they don't do a lot.
Tell me more. Would you? Okay, you tell me whether you agree with me on this one. I'm a mechanic. Would you say that on average AFL players are better than AFLW players?
Oh, by an absolute mile and a half.
Okay, so is that
they're going to get till they get the skill level up? They will not shouldn't be paid anymore.
I agree with you. Do you ever think that will happen, given the biological differences between male and female?
Never happened.
Yeah. In which case, I would agree with you. Common ground. It's a fair gender pay gap. You have a lovely day, mate.
Like, watching women's sports is like watching high schooler sports. It's a sport, but is it the most competitive? No. I mean, competitive, I guess they compete against. It's the most entertaining, I should say.
Take care of yourself.
They should be classed as the same level as the men.
Fuck out of here.
Any sport, I think that it should be across the board. So the pay that the male players get should go across to the female players as well.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
Would you apply that same thinking to any job? Like if you and I had the same job and you did a much better job and I did a pretty average job, should we get paid the same?
I guess it depends on what sort of job you're talking about.
No, it doesn't.
As an example,
Sales,
you bring
make
in,
more
you bring
sales
in more revenue
and,
for the company. I don't. Do you think that you should be rewarded?
Yes and no. I feel that it depends.
What?
You gotta give me a straight answer.
Okay, straight answer. Probably not.
Why?
Because you're working harder to get more money.
What if we're putting in the same amount?
Yeah, like you could be putting in the same amount of work as just skill. Like you can't be mad that someone's more skillful at something than you. If someone's more skilled than me at fucking playing a guitar, like no shit, they've had more time doing it. They've worked harder at it, and like I can't be mad at that. Why not? That's literally what they're trying to fight right now. Is like, well, he might play a better song than me, but I could play too, so I should be able to get paid the same amount of money as he does, which is ignorant.
Hours, same effort, but you're just better at the job. You're bringing in more money for the company.
Okay, maybe then if you put it that way,
okay.
yeah.
So maybe just to quickly give you context, the goal here is to find common ground. So we might disagree, and that's fine.
Yeah, that's right.
We just want to see how much common ground we can find. So I would find common ground with you on if two people are doing the same job, and one is better than the other at the job, then I think they ought to be rewarded in kind.
Okay.
Graphing that onto sports, I would say that male players in the AFL compared to the AFLW are stronger and faster on average. Women are slower and weaker on average. And that's part of the reason why people in general are more interested in watching the AFL. And if that brings in more revenue for the AFL, then I think that the male players ought to be rewarded in proportion.
If she ain't on his side now, then this bitch is just lost. She's a lost soul, and she's just a stubborn old head.
To their performance. Say.
I understand that, but I also think it's great that women are getting out there and giving it a go. So I guess in saying that, you know, to pay the women players more or the same amount as the men, you're saying that it's, you know, better against not so good. But in saying that, I think it's great that the women are getting out there and giving it a go.
Yeah, fair enough.
So,
fair enough. Power to them. But I would just say, where I just want to see if we can find common ground. Would you agree that there's a performance differential between the male teams and the female teams? Like the males are better at football compared to the female teams?
Yes. Look, in all honesty, I probably enjoy watching the men and the women, but I still support the women for what they do.
Okay.
please, fucking ask her if she watches them and what team she watches and who her favorite player is. If she can't answer all those things, that bitch does not support women's sports at all.
Okay, so if you enjoy watching the male team more, and on average people do, and they bring in more attention to the sport, they bring in more ticket sales, more advertising dollars, do you think then that the players are fairly rewarded by being paid more on average than
What irritates me the most is that these women are literally like, well, at least with the WNBA, they have not made a profit since they came out. For I think it's 20 years now, they have not turned a profit one season at all. The NBA is losing money to keep these motherfuckers even an organization. And now these motherfucking females are trying to argue that women need to be paid more in sports. In what fucking world, man? Y'all don't even bring in enough money to keep your organization up.
The females?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Common ground.
Yeah.
Common ground. You have a lovely day. Thank you.
Yeah, I think so.
Fairly rewarded by being paid more on average than the females?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
Common ground.
There you
Common
go.
ground. You have a lovely day. Thanks for showing your
He
position.
finally came to her senses.
Bye. Madam, I see the look of disdain on your face. Do you think it's unfair? Yeah? Do you want to have a conversation with us? Because I think it's fair.
I think it's simple. If the girls can bring in enough revenue, like the same as men, they should be paid.
I'm with you. Common ground.
So,
Hey,
I agree.
we're gonna go have a chat to some other people.
I don't think you should go around calling women weak. Yeah. I think two ways one. Maybe.
Physically.
Look at the dude in the group just itching his head like, I don't want to say nothing. You know he's in the friend zone, and if not, this motherfucker's whipped.
Physically weaker and slower.
I don't think.
It's true though.
Yeah, but some women aren't.
I know. On average. If you take all the males.
Maybe instead of saying we're weaker, maybe just not as good at sport, or maybe they have a hair.
But why not say weaker? It's true. Physically weaker.
I think you should choose your words because I feel like
I think you shouldn't be as sensitive.
I'm not.
Yeah, oh God,
But
you're so
respectfully,
soft.
This was lovely. We're gonna keep moving on. What do you think?
How soft are you that the word weak triggers you? Like, what is wrong with that? Like if a bodybuilder called me weak, I'd be like, yeah, you're right. There's nothing wrong with that. Like it's fucking it's not even supposed to be like an offensive word. It's a what is that? Descriptive word.
Unfair or fair?
If you ain't happy with the descriptive word, then do something about it. Don't just get mad and be like, no, you can't use that word. No, because that's what the fuck you are. And the fact that you're so sensitive that I can't even call you weak, that makes you extra fucking weak.
Fair? And why is that? I love how you have to say it like this. Like, why can't we just say that out loud?
Because when you watch an AFL game,
Yeah.
females, right, it's very different to an AFL with
This motherfucker sucks with a mic, man.
males.
I completely agree with you. What makes a difference?
They're still learning. They're still getting into the game. Once they get
Put it in their
more
face.
professional, they'll be ace. They'll be better.
Do you reckon though that even once they've had time, there's still going to be a difference because men are on average stronger and faster?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
The women can't get there.
I think it's more about position, isn't it?
Yeah, that's true too.
Yeah.
More men
I don't
than.
want to see females. I wouldn't want to do it as a female. I wouldn't want if I had a daughter, I wouldn't want my daughter to do it.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a sport that I would want my daughter involved in. Sometimes I'm scared to have my son involved in it.
Yeah.
I know.
I'm
Yeah.
like, oh,
True.
So a point that hasn't come up today is that I was thinking about like I'm like all into thinking about evolutionary psychology and what men and women are attracted to. I think it's quite attractive for a female to see a man who's like going at it and being physical and aggressive. When I see women do it, I'm like, I'm so turned off right now. It doesn't interest me.
No.
Nothing attractive about it.
Anyway, hey, thanks for showing your position. I appreciate it. Take care.
It's totally unfair.
Can you tell us why?
Because women do just as much as the work, so why shouldn't they be paid just as much?
Well, if they're worse at playing football on average.
Well, they are a little bit worse, but then so were the boys all those years ago too.
Okay, so is it a matter?
Yeah, but that's why they don't get paid in high school and middle school, and they just now started being able to get paid in college, which they don't get paid by the college that they play for. They get paid by ads and advertisers and merchandise and shit like that, which they weren't even allowed to do before, which is ignorant to me. But I mean, to each his own.
Matter of do you think it's a matter of time until
Time and experience.
Okay, so in
they have just as much time and experience as men. They do it from whenever they're kids all the way till they're adults. What is she talking about? Time and experience.
20 years' time, if the women's league has had time to develop and there's
They
still...
should be getting the same amount of wage as what the boys are getting.
Well, hold on. If they've had time to develop and there's still a difference in performance between the men's and women's team, would you then say that the pay gap is fair?
But not as much as what it is, yes.
Okay, so if it were just based on performance and the men and women had time to develop their performance, then you would view it as fair?
Yeah.
Okay, that's where we find common ground. Thanks for sharing your position. Take care of yourself. Ladies, women paid less in sport, fair or unfair? Unfair. Why? Yeah. Go, team.
I think it's unfair.
Yeah, why?
I can't wait to see a day where we have more women doing it full time. I think that now that there's more money in it, it will just keep progressing, and people who think... Rise. Yeah, I think it's important. And
what?
I mean, I think one of the main things that you can look at is why there are no professional male netballers. Money makes a big difference. So
on a different situation where we were in a sales role, and if I made more sales than you, and we were putting in the same hours, I was just better at the job. Could be exactly the opposite way. You might be better at the job. Do you think that we should be rewarded based on our performance in a context like that?
I think you need to consider equity as well.
I just need a yes or no for that one.
Bro, money does not give a fuck about equity, like at all. Like literally, if you females just watch female sports, there'll be no fucking problem with this. Nobody watches it. Why the fuck do they need more money whenever they aren't even entertaining?
Oh. And then we can go into...
They're getting paid well above what the fuck they deserve.
I can't give you a yes or no. Sorry.
Okay, tell me about equity.
I think that...
What's your name, by the way?
My name's Alice.
Rich.
Nice to meet you too. I think that in terms of, I'm not sure if you've seen the picture of people kind of standing behind the fence.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah. So we're trying to make it equal. And that starts, I think, with money, unfortunately, in a capitalistic society. But I think that giving people the opportunity to be as good as other people, I provide...
What is if you pay them more, they're gonna get better? That's not how it works.
I think that money. It's kind of like what comes first, the chicken or the egg.
Let's say that
giving people the opportunity.
Let's say that the opportunity was given. Like, let's say that there was a...
Sorry, guys.
Okay, 1 minute. Let's say there was a $50,000 base salary so that women who did want to become AFLW players could do so economically viable.
Yeah. Is $50,000 economically viable?
Let's say it's 100K, sure.
Okay, yeah. I'm coming in a second, sorry.
Let's say that there was still a performance difference. The men's teams were still better than the women's. People were more interested in watching the men's sport. If that were the case, hypothetically, would you then view it as fair that there would be a gender pay gap?
I don't think that that's valid. Do you think that it's fair? But look at tennis, right? Yeah. Serena Williams has made heaps more money, probably, than the other three men who were dominant during that era. Is she less or more entertaining? But she's been given the economic opportunity. Her father picked tennis.
Serena Williams, I don't know. I don't watch tennis, so I don't really get that whole shit. But she branded herself like perfectly. I don't know how she did it. I don't know how I even know her fucking name. I've never even watched tennis. If there's anybody in tennis that I do know is Serena Williams. I don't understand what she did, but whatever she did, other women need to take notes, because that's why she's in her bag and they ain't, because she branded herself. She made herself a fucking household name.
Because of the economic opportunity that was available. So we're coming back to the argument.
Also, the entertainment. People are really excited to watch the Williams sisters play.
I'm gonna end that there. My time limit's almost up. Sorry, y'all. If you want me to make longer videos, subscribe, because that's what I need. And please like and comment if you got anything to say about this video. And with that being said, deuces.
Hate all in your eyes and you been praying on my downfall. Raffle off a bundle, watch these niggas let them rounds off. Sound off, I demand attention like a house call. Pitch it to the click and they gon' scoop it like a ground ball. This been in the making for a long time. Long sleepless nights, baby, this done been